So the Secretary of Defense has ordered all of the armed forces to prepare to have women fill all roles in the military, including frontline combat roles. Only the General of the Marines said no. He has personally tested mixed platoons versus all male platoons, and the mixed platoons always fail horribly. What are the aspects of what he's talking about? Injury. If a fellow man is injured, everybody's logical about it. They determine what the injury is. They see can he continue? They see does he need to be rescued? Does he need to be taken back? Versus the female, they all stop. There is no logic about it. They all stop. Everybody, and the mission goes down to hell. Even worse, if there are two injured. Again, in an all-male, they are logical about it. Who's more severe? Who's less severe? Who needs immediate treatment? Who needs to go back? In a mixed, if there is a female and a male, they all go to the female, and the mission is in jeopardy. Even worse, if it's a two-man team. Two men, even a tiny man, no matter how tiny he is, can still throw some 300-pound guy over his shoulders and deal with it. Not so with the female. And just case after case. And then finally they said, women will die if they are out in the field for so long. Men can go without hygiene, nothing will happen. Women cannot go without hygiene. They will die. And then, to kick it all off, the Secretary of Defense said, give the women the pill that will completely stop the menstruation cycle, the whole deal. So I'm making this video because my little sister said she's going to go into the military, and I said, no, I forbid it. But grandpa and cousin and no, I forbid it. We're talking about you will die. We're talking about people who are going to send you to your death. I'm not going to have it. And then some women came on. This is a discussion we were having on Facebook, and gave me the breakdown of how it really happens, and that women die, and that there is no reason we would send out women literally to die. I'm not talking about we would send out women to do a mission and they would get killed. We're talking about we would send out women just to die. I mean, it would just end up in the deaths of women. Period. And I'm guessing the Secretary of Defense is saying that you need to lower the standards so that women can get in. Well, if that's the case, if they're going to lower the standards, then men who didn't meet the standards before can get in, and they'll be squeezed out anyway, right? If we're talking about equality, or is he going to make it affirmative action so that you have a quota? Again, for women. But the discussion from the women is that this looks like a deal to kill off women. That's all it looks like. It doesn't look like a deal for equality, because women are women, men are men. This isn't a playground. We're talking about the military. We're not talking about carpentry, which women still don't go into, or plumbing. Women still don't go into that. We're talking about the military. We're talking about murder, killing, maiming. This is what men are sent to do. Humanity doesn't survive off of sending their women to die. Humanity survives by sending their men off to die. I mean, it's a complete lack of civilization to begin with, but this is what they do. I would never join the military. Never. If push came to shove, I would negotiate my own freedom. I would negotiate my own, and I've done it. Huh? I've been the victim or the attempted victim of several kidnappings, and I'm here. I'm fine. Everybody jumps to conclusion, well, you need the military. You don't necessarily need the military. In a planet of civilized nations, you would never need a military to begin with, if we want to get into that discussion, which I'm not going to get into. This is a new world order, one world religion, one world government sort of deal. And they're using women and leading women to their own destruction. The women who tried to get into the Citadel completely failed. They fought and fought and fought to try and get in, could not pass the standards. Completely failed. The standards are there for a reason. The standards are there to keep out the people who cannot make it, who will not be successful. Even men fail. So what are you talking about? You need to lower the standards. No, the standards are there for a reason. And I would say to the Secretary of Defense, what is he, a nuclear physicist, that he knows nothing about conducting the military. Nothing. He knows nothing about the operations of the military. If a general told me that if we send women off into the field, they will die, the mission will be an uncategorically failure all the time, 100% of the time, it's time to listen to him. And who's pushing for this? Who's pushing for women to have to sign up for the draft just like men? Women, is this what you want? Tell me, do you want to die? Why don't we just murder about half of you and then be done with it? We don't need to have this charade go on, because that's what's going on. I want to serve my country. Serve your country by loving your husband whom you've sent out to war, and not divorce him in the middle of his deployment. Getting pregnant in the middle of his deployment. That's how you can serve the country. Everybody, every human needs support. Every human needs somebody that they can trust, somebody they can come home to and hug and say, there, it's all right. And if you don't believe so, why don't you take a look at Japan, where those people are dying just from stress. Dying off, as in they're predicting 100, 200 years from now, there will not be Japanese if they continue on down the road as they are now. Everybody wants to talk about, I want freedom. I want freedom for what? Freedom to do what? To die? To be murdered? Are you that stupid? Who has convinced you that that's freedom? That's not freedom. That's not freedom. We shouldn't even have war. We shouldn't even have a military. I know you're going to say, oh, you're just an intellectual. But it's true. There's no reason for humans to murder each other. None. Across the board, none. On all sides, no reason to murder humans. You heard it here first. If this is the first time you've ever heard such a thing, if we are considered ourselves civilized, there would never be any murder ever. And it is not a privilege, it's not an honor to give your life for your country. It's idiocy. It is caveman stuff. Yeah, he died for the cave. How did he die for the cave? What did that further? How did his death further the cause of your cave? Since you want to be uncivilized, tell me how his death. It doesn't. Dying doesn't help anything. Same thing with the black people that died. They always know people died for your right to vote. First of all, people didn't die for my right to vote. My people were free from the beginning. My particular family. Nobody died for, and no death caused white people all of a sudden they can wake up and go, oh my God, Negroes are dying. Let's give them right. That's not what happened. The Jews came in and said, give these people the right to vote, and this is how it's going to go down. That's what's really happened. So stop telling yourself that somebody died for you to vote. I forbid any woman from entering the military to die. We're not even talking about serving your country. You're just going to die. Do you understand? Do you comprehend what is going on? This is population control. They've already got you on birth control. They've all you got they got you coming and going. Birth control to begin with. Abortion to begin with. I mean, just heinous stuff. Let's kill off humans. And then we have Christians talking about, well, if she was raped, let's kill off the baby too. Why should the baby die? You're not royalty. That whole notion of if she was raped by some indigent, we don't want those genes. That's what that's talking about. It's talking about the royal line being diluted. That's where that comes from. You're an idiot. And what's funny is the peasants jump right behind these theories that are put out by the aristocracy and don't even know it's from the aristocracy. They think that real people actually talk like that. So now they got you on the pill. If that doesn't work, they got you aborting and murdering your babies. Now they're just going to murder you, women. Do you not understand that you're at war? Do you not get it? What don't you get? Humanity depends on the women to have the babies. So if there is no babies coming from you, and now we're murdering you, they don't even have to do anything to men. Seriously, they don't have to send men off to war. If they can just murder women at will, oh my God. The job is done. What don't you get? I see it. I present it to you. You don't get it. I don't get it. What don't you understand? Oh, I want to do what a man. Why? Why do you want to do what a man? I don't want to do what men do. I want to sit here on my nice comfy chair with my butt hurting because I don't have enough fat. I envy you fat people with my bones hurting in my chair. And that's my biggest problem in life. That's what I want. I want me sitting in this chair, not getting enough exercise, not being fat enough to sit in the chair for extended periods of time. I want that to be my biggest problem in life. That and it's cold. That's it. I just have to go out and spend $400 on a chair and get me a nice heater. I have a heater, but I need a nicer one. That's it. I don't want to do what men do. I don't want to go in the military. I don't want to die for my country, the country that hates me, a country where I walk into a store and people go, ew, ew. Wayne, I could buy you. I could buy you and your family and your family's family. Ew, what are you saying ew for? You're a peasant. You're so beneath me, it's not even funny. This is the country I want to die for? No black person should join the military ever. Until black people are treated as actual citizens. And I know people say, oh, black people are treated as citizens. You be black. Go be black for a month. Go be black for a month and walk around in public. And try and do normal crap. Normal crap. And I'm a rich guy. Chris Rock told you. He's rich and people don't want to be black. Nobody would want to trade with him. He says you don't get it. You have no idea. But I say no human should die. Nobody should be murdering anybody. Not for religion, not for country, not for God, not for their penis size, nothing. Oh, let's all stand in honor of people who died. Let's stand for a civilization actually pushing forward so that nobody dies. And we're not killing off humans for absolutely no reason. They don't want us to eat. They don't, first of all, there is no, and I was going to get into this in another video. There is no rarity on the planet for us. All of the prices that you see, they're supposedly because stuff is rare. That's where prices come from. Tell me a product where the thing is not considered rare. That costs like a penny, right? Because there's so much of it. Still, till today, we have stuff that costs a nickel. Till today, right now, going on right now, we have stuff that actually costs a nickel. Why? Because there's so much of it. They can produce millions of it in 1 hour. It costs a nickel. Why does stuff cost $300? Because it's rare. That's the premise. Same robots are in the car company making different cars. Same exact robots. They literally push buttons. One pops out, it's $1,300. The next pops out is $60,000. Same exact robots. And in fact, they even use the same motor and everything in a $60,000 car. Why? It's perceived to be rare, and it's perceived to be, or it's purported to be, to have all this exclusive stuff. It's not exclusive, I'm telling you. But you're talking to a libertarian. I'm a libertarian. I'm here to tell you. There's nothing unique about you, and I meet thousands, and I've met thousands of people. Literally, I walk up to people, oh, you are just like 10 other people that I actually know. You look like them, you act like them. I can predict what you did here. And I went through a period in my life where I did that. It was almost like I was doing a magic show. No, it was just that I knew thousands of people. There's nothing unique. You're not a special flower. The United States is not a special flower. You are literally killing your fellow man for a piece of land that's simply located over here. And women should not be in that murdering system. It's even worse for you. You will simply die. Men can just survive. They can just stand there and nothing happens to men. The woman dies. We're talking about death. I don't know who's behind you saying that you need to be in the military, but I forbid it. Let's listen to some common sense. The generals are saying the missions would be a failure. There's no reason to have women. The missions will be a failure, and then the military itself will be a simple failure. Why in the world would we do that? Why do you think we would do that? Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show.